Eagle Nation, and thank you for joining us. I'm Colton Boston.
And I'm Nuala Adams, bringing this week's news. ENN starts right now. Welcome back, Eagle Nation, and thank you for joining us again here at Studio 301.
Today is Friday, November 1st, and it is finally starting to cool down as the high for today is 77 degrees with a low of 57 and mostly cloudy. There's a chance of rain tonight, but the rain won't be moving away as it's going to rain all weekend.
And if you will be 18 by November 5th, make sure to get your voice heard and vote for the 2024 U.S. election. Early voting ends today. And I'll be honest, Colton, I am very tired today from trick-or-treating all night last night.
Yeah, unfortunately, I didn't get to go trick-or-treating last night because I was working, but on the way home, I did drive past D&T, and there was still a lot of construction going on.
Yeah, many of Prosper's roads have been expanding. Maddie Kep is on scene with more.
Thanks, Nuala. With all of Prosper's growth comes the need for new roads. If you've been driving near Dallas Parkway, you probably have noticed some construction. North and southbound Dallas Parkway from US 380 to FM 428 closures started on Monday and should wrap up tomorrow. But this most likely isn't the end of these closures as they're still actively working on new roads. I know myself, living in Light Farms, along with a lot of other families, have definitely seen this construction, especially when leaving and entering the neighborhood. So definitely be on the lookout for traffic advisories, road closure updates on various social medias and via email. And of course, remember to drive safe and be patient with traffic as this is only temporary and will better the growth of our town. Back to y'all at the desk.
These new roads are going to help traffic so much, I can already tell.
And moving on to our next story, having a loving and supporting environment is crucial for any child, especially those facing challenges that come with a terrifying life. Riley McDermott takes up the inside life of a PHS student living with a rare condition.
We never see him mad or anything. He just always has a smile on his face and he's so positive.
This is about Dominic Henriquez, a PHS freshman. His favorite color is yellow. His favorite book is Pete the Cat, and he has an extremely rare condition.
When he was 4 months old, his head started going a little bit larger, like off the charts. After 18 months of testing, they diagnosed him at 22 months old with Hunter syndrome. It's just very difficult to get a phone call and be told that your kid's gonna lose all the skills, that he's not gonna be able to walk or talk or eat by mouth by the time that he's a teenager, that he might not make it into his teenage years.
Hunter syndrome is a rare genetic disorder where a child's body doesn't properly break down certain sugar molecules. When these molecules build up over time, they can cause damage that affects physical and mental development.
He won't tell us anything hurts because he's already in pain every day. Our whole life kind of revolves around just knowing that tomorrow is not promised. Sorry.
Knowing this has not affected Dominic's will to stay strong and do what he loves.
He loves to run and he loves to dance. Most of the time it's him doing the same thing as everyone else, and I don't really have to worry about what he's doing. It's just helping him get to what he's doing.
He has gone through over 30 sedations, multiple surgeries, and week-long hospital stays. But according to his loved ones, it's all worth it.
At 14, he's going to be 15 in about 5 weeks. He's considered a senior citizen within our world.
He's so capable, and a lot of people underestimate that. When they look at him, they see the wheelchair. They don't see Dominic himself. It's just harder for him because of his disability, but he's just like us, and we should all treat him as well and as we treat others.
Reporting for Eagle Nation News, I'm Riley McDermott.
Dominic's dancing event already happened last week, but you can support and find out more about Dominic's story at dancingwithdominic.com.
This week has sparked a wave of creativity with celebrities. Stay tuned, Talent Talk is next.
PHS just landed a moon-treed seedling from NASA's Artemis 1 mission, and they need your help to give it an awesome name. Think of something cool, inspiring, or unique that connects our school spirit with space exploration. To submit your ideas, scan the QR code on the screen.
Halloween was yesterday, and celebrities really delivered on the costume front.
Christina Krasnova is in studio to share some of the standout looks from this year. Christina?
Thanks, Nuala. Starting with Jennifer Garner, who posted on TikTok dressed as herself in 13 going on 30, which is so iconic. Also on TikTok, I've seen people wearing Rio outfits, which is the same vibe that Camila Cabello brought with her Cuban dancer outfit. But more realistic were these E.T. costumes, which belonged to none other than Heidi Klum and her husband, Tom Collins, making for adorable couples costumes. That's also giving the same energy as Selena Gomez and Benny Blanco, who surprised everyone with their Alice and Mad Hatter costumes. Moving to the movie world, Iris Apatow and Olivia Rodrigo went as Wicked stars Glenda and Elphaba. I love these outfits because it's perfectly timed with the live-action Wicked coming out on November 22nd. And last but by far my favorite, Sabrina Carpenter had 3 looks here in Dallas during her Short and Sweet tour concert on the 30th. She looked stunning as a Playboy bunny, Sandy from Grease, and Tinkerbell. I don't know where she got this idea, but it really worked for her. Sticking with pop stars, Chappell Roan is building up excitement for new music following the success of her album, The Rise and Fall of a Midwest Princess, released just over a year ago. She took to Instagram on October 29th to tease fans with a post featuring her vinyl record and a message. Her caption stated, quote, "Album kinda popped off, IMO, but it is time to welcome a hot new bombshell into the villa." Chappell is set to perform on Saturday Night Live on November 2nd, which is the perfect opportunity to debut her new music, possibly including the unreleased track, The Subway. Her producer revealed they had already began working on the next album in July, confirming that fresh sounds are definitely on the way, as she plans to take time off from November to mid-May. Personally, I really admire her openness about her journey as an artist, and I'm looking forward to see whatever she puts out next. So, Nuala, Colton, have you heard anything about this new album?
This is actually the first that I'm hearing about this, but I love Chappell, so I am super excited.
Now, I don't personally listen to Chappell, but I did listen to Tyler, the Creator's new album, Chromacopia, and I can say it is easily not only top 3, but possibly the best album of the year.
Yeah, all this new music has been highly anticipated.
And one of the most highly anticipated events of one's life is their wedding.
Zane Jahangiri looks into the story of how PHS students are helping weddings bloom.
Your ears are like big. A lot of important planning goes into weddings, including floral arrangements. And at PHS, students are getting involved with this planning process.
I also think it's a neat opportunity for students to see the big picture of an event and then seeing all of the small actions and activities that have to happen in order to make it come into fruition or come into reality. So I think it's neat to see the kids have the big picture and have the big dreams, and then they look at all the flowers in the cooler that haven't been made into floral arrangements yet, and then putting it together.
And trusting students with such an important task can be difficult.
Yes, at first it was hard to give students the trust to really get involved with the things with the wedding, because if you think about it, weddings are the biggest event in somebody's life. And so we have to make sure that all the details are perfect.
Building that trust is essential, but the pressure on such a significant day can also be hard to overcome.
I feel like I did feel a little pressure just knowing that it was for someone's wedding and not just for arrangement that would sit in my room. I feel like being able to work with your other classmates and peers and them giving you feedback has made it way less stressful, because you know that they'll help you when something doesn't look right and that they're always looking for your best interest as well.
This special connection between students has set a good foundation for them to use outside of school and the real world.
The idea of getting students involved was ultimately my idea, because I was like, okay, I'm teaching floral design in class, but how do I teach this to kids outside of class? How do I give them that real world experience? How can I give them that experience of working with vendors, working with tight deadlines, working with a bride who has expectations and dreams that she wants to be met? So it's been a really cool opportunity to see kids rise to the occasion and make things happen.
This amazing opportunity has blossomed lifelong skills and connections between the students and their unified clients. Reporting for Eagle Nation News, I'm Zane Jahangiri.
These floral arrangements were actually made for the wedding of one of our very own PHS teachers.
You know, it's really cool to see our school support its staff, and it really makes our school feel like one big team. And our sports teams have been bringing the heat. Don't leave, game time is up next.
Here we go!
Crossfire sports are on fire and entering playoff season.
Isabel Moulter is in studio with this week's Game Time.
Thanks, Colton. Kicking off with football news, our Eagles went 1-1 in the last week. Last Friday, the team took their second loss of the season in a tough 7-22 game against Allen. However, last night, the Eagles completely redeemed themselves with a huge 84-41 senior night victory over Princeton in their last home game of the season. The first half of this matchup was a tough one for Prosper. With a back-and-forth ball game, the Eagles were barely up 42-35 at halftime, but were able to pull away in the third quarter, racking up 35 points in those 12 minutes alone. The Eagles held the Princeton offense to just 6 points in the second half and brought home their final home win of the year. The team will play their last game of the regular season next Friday against Plano West at 7. Hitting over to the court, our volleyball team swept Princeton on Friday 3-0. Unfortunately, the ladies fell short 4 days later to Plano West, losing 1-3, but we want to give a huge congratulations to senior Sophie Bridges on reaching her 1,400th career dig in the game. The Lady Eagles will begin their playoff run tonight against McKinney-Boyd. And running to huge cross-country news, our girls competed in the UIL State 6A Championship today. The race should be wrapping up shortly, so best of luck to our athletes. And lastly, pivoting to basketball news, our Lady Eagles will tip off their season in about 1 hour against Byron Nelson, and our boys will take the court for their first matchup against Centennial at 11 a.m. tomorrow. I personally cannot wait to see what Prosper basketball has in store for this year. How about y'all back at the desk?
Thanks, Isabel. I know I'm going to go to a lot of basketball games this season, and I'm really excited to watch a winning team.
And one winning business uses a unique art form to bring smiles to Prosper. Kathy Ortiz whips up this sweet story.
Here in Star Trail, a stay-at-home mom in 2021 wanted to make the pandemic a little brighter with Panky Doodle.
Anshul Gupta started making pancakes for her community for free, but after much positive feedback, she started her business officially.
We do these like characters that, families, they give us, whatever their families are into, be it like Bingo or Mario fans or Marvel or DC. So it's just a way to bring out their favorite characters in a food art form. We do like events where we actually make them right in front of the guests, of like hosts and family members.
Panky Doodle gives her much joy seeing the effect it has on others.
It was just not about the business per se, but about the reviews and the smiles that we were receiving back from the customers. Recently, I was at an event where the kid came up and she was so excited to see a unicorn pancake, and she said, I don't have that many happy moments that I remember, but your pancake made me so happy today. When I grow up, I'm gonna look back on this day.
A couple of mini customers give their opinion on Panky Doodle.
He made Sonic and Bluey. Sonic is so my favorite. And Bluey is a little bit my favorite. Panky Doodle is amazing.
Reporting for Eagle Nation News, I'm Kathy Ortiz.
If you want to see more of her creations, go to her Instagram at Panky Doodle.
Growing up, I love those Collins Key pancake art videos, which is what this reminds me of.
Yes, I grew up watching those too, and these are definitely some Devon-level pancakes right there.
Well, that's all we have for you today, Eagle Nation. Thank you for letting us tell your stories. Once again, I'm Nuala Adams.
And I'm Colton Boston. Have a great weekend, and go Eagles.